Well, Linda McMahon, the wife of Vince McMahon, who also ran the WWE wrestling, is now our Secretary of Education. And just to show you how much she knows about education and technology, here she is confusing AI with steak sauce.
I think it was a letter or a report that I heard this morning. I wish I could remember the source, but that there is a school system that's going to start making sure that first graders or even pre-Ks have A1 teaching, every year starting, that far down in the grades. And that's a wonderful thing. Kids are sponges. They just absorb everything. And so it wasn't all that long ago that we're going to have internet in our schools. Woo! Now, okay, let's see A1 and how can that be helpful? How can it be helpful in one-on-one instruction? How can it be helpful in absorbing, more information for those fast learners? It can be more one-on-one directed. And those are the kinds of things and innovations that I want to see continue to develop.
Yeah, you could see those people on stage being like, someone tell her it's AI. It's not A1, it's AI. But no one told her that the I in AI is not a 1. I wonder if anyone's told her that an iPhone is not a 1 phone. Can you imagine? She goes, give me my 1 phone. Your what? This is our Secretary of Education, and she's filled with great ideas. For example, she wants to sell off education.
What we have to do is to make sure that we are encouraging, and I think the private sector, I think so many of you sitting in this room who are investing in innovation and in technology and helping develop it and wondering whether or not I should continue to invest in education. This is the time. This is the moment to do that. Because as we pull down that bureaucracy, there could be gaps and holes that we need you to fill. And I would like to work with you and understand more of that. Even if I step away from education, I'm not letting go of this.
There you go. She wants tech billionaires to invest in and run the schools because they've done such a great job of spreading the wealth and raising people up from the bottom up. They're really, really altruistic and doing fantastic work, these tech bros. Get ready for your kids to be in classes like Crypto 101 and Douchebag 202. That's right. And you know what? No right-wing education plan would be complete without an attack on culture wars.
We have heard disturbing reports that dozens of Maine school districts allow for schools to create gender plans that support a student's transgender identity and then hide those plans from parents, claiming they don't fall under education records. That is unacceptable and unlawful, if true. Parents and guardians have the right to access their child's education records to guide and safeguard their child's mental, emotional, and physical well-being, and we will uphold the law.
There you go. The schools are turning your kids trans. Let us take over and we won't let your kids become trans. That's what they keep trying to scare people with. Fear tactics, culture wars. And the truth is, they don't have any interest in improving schools and helping teachers and fund teachers. They want to demolish all of the education department. They want to demolish all of the public school education, and they want to privatize it. Watch this.
It's very clear that the RIFs, the firing of probationary staff, the so-called restructuring that's happening, when we asked for a plan multiple times in this meeting, we were told there is not a plan yet. And so our question is, if there's not a plan, then why are you firing thousands of people? How are you going to ensure that our states are compliant with the civil rights requirements? How are you going to ensure that students with disabilities are going to get the accommodations? How are you going to ensure that in states where there is not the infrastructure and the people to administer these programs, that they will be able to administer them? And they do not have a plan. So they are de facto restructuring this entity along a corporate model without a plan and without an effort to really protect our students.
That was Congresswoman Melanie Stansberry explaining that these guys have no plan. They're just firing everyone in the Department of Education and winging it as they go. We don't need experts. We'll just wing it. Why? Because we're billionaires. We're businessmen. We know the art of the deal. We know how to make things happen. It's all a bunch of mumbo jumbo.
Congress appropriates the money that is going through Title I, through IDEA programs.
What's that stand for?
You know what? I'm not sure I can tell you exactly what it stands for, except that it's the Programs for Disabled and Needs.
Individuals with Disabilities Act, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't know all my acronyms. I've been here for 30 years.
This is my 5th day on the job, and I'm really trying to learn them very quickly.
Right, it's a lot.
I don't know what it means. I've only been here 5 days. Come on, give me a break. I just got here. I'm running the place, but I don't know what it means. Oh, what is going on here? You know, she's not going to learn anything about the Department of Education because her whole job is to just tear it down.
This issue is not going to go away because it's very contentious. But when you cut in any organization, government or private, it's very demoralizing. It's traumatic, and it gets lots of bad press, as we're doing right now. But that's why you cut 20% more. I think Elon's not cutting enough. Cut 20% more now. Get your spreadsheet out. These are the names. Whack everybody, and then 20% more, as we do in the private sector every day and have done for 100 years in private equity, and hire back when the organization gels. That way, the demoralization only happens once. You don't want to cut multiple times. More whacking.
There he is, mega-rich investor Kevin O'Leary saying the solution is to just whack it all. It's like a private company. Just get rid of 20%, and then we'll deal with it later. Don't worry about who they are, what they are, if we need them. We don't. Just get rid of them. Because that's his solution. That's the solution of MAGA for the Department of Education. But does he know what he's talking about?
Can I explain to you that this is when running...
You don't need to explain it to me. I know how it works.
But no, you don't. Because
Actually, I do. I've done it multiple times.
But that's in the private sector. And you cannot run...
This is worse than the private sector.
You cannot run everyday government the same way you run the...
Fat, dripping with waste government?
I'm not talking about fat, dripping with waste government.
What do we have?
What if I told you in the South, right now, in red states, do you know the number one cause...
What does this have to do with red or blue?
Can I finish my question? Do you know the number one cause for children underperforming in schools right now?
Bad educators.
They're hungry.
As a
no. Let me finish.
You're talking to the wrong guy. Let me finish. My whole career was in education.
That's my point of bringing that up to you. Yeah. And so, yes, you had things like the free and reduced lunch program. You had the summer lunch program. Yes. You had programs that were expanded so kids could actually. So I'm not arguing with you about your expertise in the private sector, but what I am saying is that a 20% cut or whack, you're cutting from Allendale Fairfax High School and Birmingham High School.
Okay.
You're cutting from places that really matter.
You want to talk about high schools in America? That's what I did for 14 years.
I also was a high school teacher.
Oh, yeah, hunger. I forgot about that thing. That's what billionaires are trying to ignore and tell you that the problem are the teachers. It's not that the kids are hungry. It's the teachers don't know how to teach hungry kids. That's the problem. These people have crazier and crazier ideas, and here's another one of them.
People don't realize and understand is every state has their own Department of Education. Mm-hmm. It's not like we're not going to have a Department of Education, but every state, I'm from the South. We have a different way of life in terms of education. We educate our kids in different curriculums. Everybody should do their own thing, but we can't regulate ourselves out of business. We don't need dictatorship from Washington, D.C. to people in Georgia or South Carolina or Montana or California. Let us teach our kids the way that we want to teach them. Let the parents be involved. Get all this bureaucracy out of the way.
There he is, Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama. Down here, we do things differently with our curriculum. Everyone should do their own thing. Alabama is ranked 47th in education. So we do not need to get advice from Tommy Tuberville. Please, Senator, take a seat. Here's the problem. The problem is that the Republicans have been wanting to gut the Department of Education from its inception. They didn't like the Department of Education because the Department of Education was trying to bring equity to education. One of the big roles of the Department of Education is to look out for children with needs, look out for children who need lunches, look out for children who have disabilities, look out for children who do not have the means that some children from higher demographics financially might have. So they're trying to bring equity to education. That's one of the things it does. Another thing it does is it oversees a lot of the loans that you get in higher education. So it does a lot of stuff. Now, the curriculum part of it, the truth is that a lot of local school boards get together and change the curriculums of those school districts. And a lot of states have their own regulations. We saw famously with Florida under Ron DeSantis, where they said, we don't want to teach about the slavery because it's going to make white kids feel guilty. And Florida has now implemented that. And so they're trying not to teach certain historical facts because they want their students to be living with blinders.